The sun was dipping low when I turned onto the dirt road leading to my ranch, dust swirling behind my truck like a bad omen. I'd been gone 5 days, a quick consulting gig in Colorado, leaving my ranch hand, Tommy, to keep things steady. Cows fed, fences mended, gates locked, everything was fine when I left. But as I rounded the bend off County Road 12, my gut twisted. A line of sleek cars, BMWs, Lexuses, a Tesla or two clogged my driveway like it was a damn car show. A velvet rope stretched across the entrance, a valet stand stood where my water trough used to be, and on my porch a woman in sharp green heels was auctioning off my land like it was a thrift store trinket. This was Vanessa Hartley, president of the Pineview HOA, and she had the nerve to call the cops on me. If I hadn't come home a day early, I might have lost everything my father poured his life into. What would you do if you rolled up to your home and found strangers selling it out from under you? I slammed the truck into park, my boots hitting the gravel hard. A kid in a cheap suit blocked my path, clipboard in hand. "Sir, this is a private event," he said, like I was crashing a wedding. I laughed, not because it was funny, but because the alternative was tossing him into the ditch. "I live here," I growled. "This is my land." Before he could stutter a reply, Vanessa's voice cut through the air, sharp as a blade. "Security, please remove this man. He's not authorized." "Authorized?" I spun toward her, my blood boiling. "I'm the damn owner, Vanessa." She glided over, her blazer pristine, her smile venomous. "James," she said, voice dripping with fake pity, "you've been absent over 30 days. Per HOA bylaw 517, your property's been deemed dormant. We're proceeding with redevelopment." My jaw clenched. I was gone 5 days. She raised an eyebrow. "We measure absence by activity, not days." Then the sirens came. 2 sheriff's units rolled up, lights flashing. Vanessa pointed at me like I was a stray dog. "He's disrupting a sanctioned event and threatening guests." The deputies stepped out, cautious. One, Deputy Hargrove, knew me from town. "Mr. Dalton?" he asked. I nodded, pulling a laminated deed from my glove box. He scanned it, then turned to Vanessa. "Ma'am, unless you've got something that trumps this, you need to stand down." The crowd murmured, champagne glasses forgotten. Vanessa's smile tightened. "This is a civil matter," she snapped. "Lawyers will handle it." She leaned in close, her perfume stinging my nose, and hissed, "This isn't over." As she stormed off, her heels gouged my lawn like knives. The event unraveled, chairs tipped over, brochures scattered. I didn't stop anyone from taking them. I was too busy unlocking my front door, the same one my father built 40 years ago. Inside, I dug through the old trunk Dad left behind. Under medals and faded photos was a leather folder with the original deed, 5 pages of legal armor, including a 1983 clause. Owner reserves unilateral veto over all third-party land use claims in contested jurisdiction. That word veto was Vanessa's reckoning. My phone buzzed. Tommy texted, "Boss, check the HOA email blast. She's calling you a trespasser." I gripped the folder tighter. This wasn't just about land anymore. It was war. Morning came, but the ranch felt wrong. The air was still crisp, the fields golden, but I couldn't shake the image of strangers sipping wine where my cattle grazed. A crumpled flyer by the fence showed my barn reimagined as a yoga studio, solar panels gleaming. I tossed it and drove to the county recorder's office. The clerk, Mitch, owed me a favor from a hunting permit mix-up years back. I asked for every filing tied to my parcel. He whistled low. Vanessa had submitted a redevelopment claim 48 hours after I left, bundling my ranch into a zoning update from an HOA meeting I was never invited to. Worse, she'd filed a form to freeze my ability to repair or modify the land. "She didn't even get your signature," Mitch muttered. "Exactly," I said. Next stop was Amos Reed, Dad's old lawyer. At 80, Amos was sharp as a tack, working out of a creaky house stacked with files. "Trouble, James?" he asked without looking up. I laid out the story. "She's playing dirty," he said, "but she's not untouchable. Your ranch isn't in their subdivision, so they're stretching a 30-year-old map update to claim jurisdiction. It's flimsy, but it can stall you." I leaned back, the weight settling in. I wanted to go public, let the world see Vanessa's scam, but Amos warned against it. "She's baiting you to overreact. We need leverage." That night, I pored over land records with a glass of bourbon. Just before midnight, I found it, a 1983 topographic map showing an irrigation ditch splitting my southern pasture into two plots. The smaller one, half an acre, was never merged back, making it undeclared outside HOA control. "Got you, Vanessa," I whispered. By morning, I had a plan. But Vanessa wasn't idle. An HOA newsletter hit inboxes, featuring a photo of my barn and claims of early-stage conversion. She was betting I'd crack. I didn't. Instead, I visited the Agricultural Zoning Board, pulling irrigation permits from the 1980s. The ditch was a registered water conduit with easement rights tied to my grandfather. That sliver of land was my ace. 3 days later, I donned a tacky blazer, slicked my hair, and crashed Vanessa's investor mixer as Victor Hayes, a land speculator. The tent on my northern pasture buzzed with rich folks sipping overpriced wine. Vanessa, in a cream suit, held court under a fake chandelier. I mingled, dropping hints about regulatory risks. When Lot 5, my smokehouse and oak tree, came up, I bid $1.5 million, contingent on HOA override. The room froze. Vanessa beamed, thinking I was her golden ticket. "Welcome to Pineview's future, Mr. Hayes," she crowed. I smiled, my teeth aching from the act. Behind the tent, she cornered me. "You're insane, James," she spat. "And stupid." I held up a recorder. "Say that again." She froze, then sneered. "Your ranch could be deemed unlivable with one noise complaint. Or one spark." I sent the recording to Amos. "She's slipping," he said. "Keep her talking." But Vanessa struck back. A notice appeared on my gate. "Environmental hazard probe. Do not enter." It was a lie, tied to an old rain barrel. Then came the harassment. A dead calf caught in fresh barbed wire, my mailbox torn down, my well pump failing. At night, Tommy's dog, Rex, growled at shadows. I found tire marks by the fence, reeking of diesel. The sheriff shrugged. No proof, no action. Alone at 2 a.m., I sat in Dad's chair, staring at the dying fire. "Am I losing?" I muttered. Then I found his journal, a line underlined in red. "They only win if you surrender your peace before your land." It hit like a slap. Vanessa wanted my submission, not just my ranch. I stopped playing defense. I wrote a letter to every Pineview resident, hand-delivered before dawn, exposing Vanessa's lies. I didn't beg for help. I asked them to watch her. By noon, her assistant, Ethan, quit. Board members bickered in public. The sheriff noted a spike in calls about unfiled zoning maps. Vanessa's PR counterattack flopped. Her credibility was shot. Then came a cease and desist from her lawyer, Greg Thornton, a slick HOA fixer. I laughed, letting Rex chew the envelope. Amos and I filed a complaint with the state, attaching every damning document, plus a request for an HOA injunction. The hearing was set. The county building reeked of stale coffee. I wore Dad's old jacket, Amos at my side. Vanessa arrived late, flanked by Greg and 2 board members, Karen Holt and Victor Lang. She clutched a binder, avoiding my gaze. The chairman, Paul Whitaker, called me first. I laid out the deed, the easement, Vanessa's false map. Amos followed, exposing her unfiled amendments and playing her recorded threats. The room shifted, a gasp echoed. Greg's defense vague bylaws and clerical errors crumbled when Amos presented stolen HOA files showing financial schemes. Paul's voice was grim. "This suggests fraud." Vanessa snapped, accusing me of a smear campaign, her voice breaking. The board recessed, then ruled unanimously for me, rescinding all HOA claims and recommending a fraud probe. Vanessa stormed out, shielding her face from a reporter's camera. By evening, her resignation hit the HOA site. Karen and Victor faded. Greg's firm faced scrutiny. 3 homeowners filed their own claims against the HOA. The sheriff tipped his hat. "Heard you won." I nodded, leaning on my fence, the land breathing easy again. Weeks later, I planted sunflowers along the ditch, a quiet victory. Then came an invitation to an HOA reform symposium. Case had sparked a task force. The county passed the Dalton Clause, mandating in-person zoning reviews near legacy lands. But Vanessa resurfaced, rebranded as a community consultant. I laughed unbothered. Then a drone buzzed my pasture. I tracked it to an SUV driven by one of Greg's lackeys, snapping his plate. Amos confirmed Greg was spinning a comeback narrative. I smirked. Let them try. Letters pour in now, from folks fighting their own Vanessas. They don't want advice, just proof they're not crazy for defending what's theirs. I tell them, the law's fickle, but truth endures. As long as I've got dirt under my boots and a deed in my hand, no HOA tyrant in heels will take what's mine. Not today. Not ever.